Nollywood actor Iyke has stirred debate after declaring that single mothers cannot raise boys into proper men without the involvement of a male figure. The actor, speaking in a recent interview with OKFM 101.7 Accra, Ghana, argued that women are not built to raise men on their own and require male influence in the process of bringing up a boy child.
Not be mitigated. Our pleas. A woman can't raise a man. I know women in this place right now that eye me. You can't. You're not built for it. A single mother cannot raise a man properly. You need a man influence, a male influence. Go get your brother that's doing well, or your father, or even a man that you trust. There has to be a male presence in it. Because women are naturally built to nurture, to love, you know, and then what you're going to raise is a very weak man. Okay? It's going to be everything like the man that left you. Okay. Because that's the concept of manhood, you understand. You need somebody that will discipline him, tell him no as often times as possible, put him in the grind. I'll give you, again, I like to draw illustrations. I was at a beach in the south of France once, and my son, before then, he's never seen me this way. You know, that growing up bonding thing. He was playing with a bunch of kids, some white kids, bigger than him. And I think he got tired. My son is a horrible footballer. I don't know what gave him the idea, because he's half black, he can play football. So they dribbled the hell out of my son. He got sick of being dribbled and he went to grab the ball. It was his ball. Now the white kids don't want him to leave with the ball, so they took the ball back. There was a scuffle. From the corner of my eyes, I saw him, he pushed him down. So he left and rushed back to me. The parents of those kids were all lined up alongside me, right? So he came back to me crying. I didn't even act like I knew him. I didn't even turn. Wow. So he dragged my short. Like, I said, I don't know. Yeah, man. But there's nothing. And bro, he was 4 years old. He was about 4. I said, this is not open. This was my test of my genius now, to see if he's going to, measure up. So he dragged my shorts a bit. She was from the corner of my eye rushing. That is the natural propensity of a woman, to go aid him, to pick. And I told her, don't you dare come near him. This is a conversation between two men. Just go back to what you're doing. And she was, now this is where you have to have somebody that follows you, that respects your leadership. She stepped back and watched. He sat down in the sand, cried a bit, and then these kids were taking off with his ball to the other side of the beach. So he went back and won his shoot 4 against 1. Well, needless to say, he was the one that's better. I've been teaching martial art. So all this martial art taught you, what is it for? So when they kicked some ass real quick, pushed down the biggest kid, grabbed his ball and started coming back. Now the parent got up and, didn't I see, was speaking French. I told him, c'est pas français, I don't understand. We don't have to have a language barrier for you to understand that your kids took my son's ball. Exactly. You didn't lift a finger. It's all of yours. Now he's gone back for war and took his ball back. And then now you're coming. Now he's man to man. You touch my son, I'll declare war all over the beach. So he said something, I know it was derogatory. Who cared? And he walked away. That's it. I've never been more proud of him then, but that was the unspoken understanding between us. I'm not here to help you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to protect you. I'm here to provide for you. Wow. The rest you figure it out by yourself, and that's what makes tough kids. Wow. That's my idea of leadership. That's great. And
quite frankly, I totally agree with him, in all honesty. Even though one brush cannot necessarily cover the whole bunch. I agree with him to an extent. Say if you put it on a 100 scale, I would go for a 90, okay? Because there are women who are raised by men who turn out to become single mothers, unfortunately, maybe. And then they raise their own kid based on the integrity, or if you like, the discipline that they got from their father. So you can't really say up and above that all single mothers will not be able to raise a child properly. I also want to give an example with even something that happened in my friend's house. He was telling me a story about how his wife fell ill, and the kids were there. He had actually a 7-year-old boy who was there, and then the woman couldn't stand up on that fateful day. And then he walks in and says, what are they eating? It was already 11 a.m. and that there is no one who was actually catering to them as to what to eat in the morning. And then they said they were going to do the bread and tea. And all of a sudden, they said that the mother is waiting. The mother is still down. Is still up. So what is the problem with all of you? You have a 7-year-old, you had a 5-year-old, and had a 4-year-old. You guys cannot make bread and tea. What is it so big in bread and tea? Bread is already made, and it's just to make the tea. So what is wrong with just putting the tea together and drinking it? And everyone was just looking at me. And then that was when they started, doing bread and tea on your own, and then you would wonder, how long would it take for the kids or for the mothers to basically look out for their kids to the extent of telling them to do certain things, knowing that they have the strength to do that, but their mothers will not want to stress them, so to speak. Mothers have this thing with them. They have this nurturing spirit. They don't want their kids to suffer. They don't want their kids to go through the stress, so to speak. And so everything that they do is revolving around, making them comfortable. Unlike the male folk who would, go the extra mile and asking them to do a few things, at their age, at their prime, so that they would learn even when nobody is available, or even when they're alone in school, they're able to take care of themselves. Imagine you are not able to make tea in your house. How are you able to do that when you are away, or maybe when you are in a boarding house, or maybe when you are in a retreat or in a camp for teenagers, or maybe for adolescents? So put this all together, quite frankly, yes, women are not built that way to some extent, but there are women who are raised by men, who are raised by their fathers, who can go the whole hog. Okay, but by and large, most women would rather not allow their kids to do the hard chores, or to discipline them. Whatever they ask for, they get. Whatever they say, it happens. And so instead of pushing back and telling them no for some certain things, or giving them reasons why they shouldn't do certain things, or put them to work, you see mothers most especially not putting in their efforts in catering to them to the extent of doing things themselves, especially for the male child. So yes, you need a male figure in your life to be able to put some discipline in you. Yes, you would need nurture, you would need care when you are down, when you were sick, when you are crying. All of those things are part. But the discipline aspect, makes it a complete man. You don't want to raise a man who would be weak at every point in time. When he goes to meet his peers, he's the weakest in the link. When he goes to play poker, or play football, play soccer, or even be in the middle of people, he sounds and feels like a mother's boy, because he needs to take a decision. Whenever he needs to take a decision about his life or certain things to be done, he gets back to his mother. He doesn't think on his feet. He doesn't think of what is good for him. He's not built to think independently about his life, about what he could do to save the situation at the time. All the time he needs to go back to ask the mother, which for some reason some women like it, because it makes them feel in control. But in the outskirts, in the whole, you weaken the man, you weaken his sense of ability and his sense of strength as a man and as a boy growing up, and you will not be better for it. You will just have to deal with people telling you that you have a soft man, you have a soft boy, and soft boys and soft men are not what ladies, in fact, today's ladies want. Most ladies want a man who can take decisions, who can take action and take the right actions and the right decisions, so that at the end of the day, they know that the decisions were made for both, and not because a certain woman somewhere is pressing the button. So by and large, he has a point, and I just hope that everyone understands there are roles to be played. And this is not in any way spiting any woman, all right? This is not in any way spiting single mothers, all right? But it's just what it is, So like he mentioned, call somebody, tell somebody who is within your family, who's successful, who can, be available to discipline somebody, who, to raise someone, and even the ladies, in fact. There are some girls you would say, well, yeah, because of their compassionate nature, you really don't need a man in their life. But trust me, some men's influence are actually what is keeping the ladies going today. Some will tell you, well, their mothers don't want them to do anything at home, but their fathers would always stress them, and that stress is what gives them the propensity, the attitude to become who they are today. So tell me what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear from you as always. This is Cheesy Media. Take care.